Good evening, Blue Raider fans, and welcome to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. For MTSU Sidelines, I'm Rusty Ellis, and I'm joined by Devin Grimes. And today, Devin, we have the annual blackout game for the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. They take on the 5-1 Marshall Thundering Herd. And this is a game of two teams that are really in different kind of stages of their season right now. The Blue Raiders are struggling to find an identity without Brent Stockstill, and they're 3-4. Meanwhile, Marshall is 5-1 and on a 4-game winning streak after a 35-3 demolishing of Old Dominion. Devin, for the Blue Raiders, what's going to be key today?
Key for the Blue Raiders today, Rusty, is just playing consistent football. Playing 60-minute football. Most of these games have been decided in the second half, and they just need to improve on finishing games strong, and that way they'll get the victory tonight.
Playing a full 60 minutes against this Marshall team is going to be really important. If you remember last year, Middle Tennessee played at Marshall, and they went into the fourth quarter trailing only 21-17. That's when the Thundering Herd exploded for 21 points en route to a 42-17 victory. Another key is going to be stopping the run game. In the games that MT has lost to teams like Florida Atlantic and University of Alabama at Birmingham, they've given up a lot of rushing yards. UAB last week ran for 274 yards on this team. And this week, that just can't happen if the Blue Raiders are going to if they want to win this game. But who is a player to watch for the Blue Raiders tonight?
So a player for the Blue Raiders is Brad Anderson. He's a freshman running back, and he's starting in his fourth game, and he's been just showing consistent performance throughout the time that he's played. Last game, he had nine catches for 137 yards and a touchdown, and he also ran the ball for 89 yards on 15 carries. So just him getting those touches and getting involved in offense is going to be very key.
Absolutely. I think another guy to watch for the Blue Raiders is Khalil Brooks, the sophomore linebacker. Brooks is in the top 20 in the nation in both sacks and tackles for loss. He has 6 sacks and 10.5 tackles for loss. He didn't register a single tackle last game, so he could come out with that chip on his shoulder, and he could end up really having a big game.
Right.
As far as Marshall, we didn't mention him earlier, but you have to keep an eye on quarterback Chase Litt.
Yes.
He's a veteran starter, and while his numbers may not be gaudy like a lot of college quarterbacks, they really don't have to be. This team in Marshall is a running team.
Right.
They had 3 players last week that ran for 45 yards or more, and they ran for 208 as a team. If he plays well and they allow him to open that running game up, the MTSU Blue Raiders are going to have a long, long night. But
They will, and that's going to be key for him,
I
stopping
agree.
that.
Well, that's going to do it for us. For our coverage of the game, you can follow us on Twitter at sidelines_sport. And you can also view this game tonight on ESPN2. But with all that being said, I'm Rusty Ellis.
And I'm Devin Grimes.
And we will see you after the game.